Today's Thursday, April 20th, 2023. Time is 13:05 hours. Sergeant Samuel, the Internal Affairs Unit with Corporal Ashley Wood. Say your name, payroll again.
It's Corporal Ashley Wood, 62333.
Okay, and last time we spoke, you were given a Garrity warning.
Yes.
And you understand it?
Yes.
Okay, it's still in effect, just to be advised. Internal Affairs Commander Lieutenant Wiggins is also present.
All right, Corporal, we asked you to come back in. There's just some clarity I need on a few things. Having a little bit more knowledge of how things work in homicide, it was just easier for me to come ask you myself than try and relay it through Sergeant Samuel. So a couple of things I kind of want to go through, just kind of, you know which cases is in general, correct? The murder involving the four co-defendants, Javaris Roundtree, Carlos Roundtree, all those guys. Okay. So just going through a couple of things. The murder happened on May 2nd, and there was an ag assault on the day before, correct?
I don't remember the exact day of the ag assault, but it was somewhere in there, yes.
Okay. Okay, so during the course, you've developed, these four individuals all as suspects in the case.
Yes.
All right, and you're aware of kind of the issues that were apparent on the ag assault. Sergeant Samuel spoke with you about it the other day, that the report did not match what was on the body camera interview.
Yeah, we went over it.
Okay. So when you wrote that in your report, how long after was that?
I couldn't tell you the exact time, but it wasn't right after that. It was probably, give or take, a month maybe.
Okay. Do you remember what your probable cause was to make that arrest on the ag assault case?
Right. If so, what I explained to Sergeant Samuels is when Detective Hildebrand and I interviewed her body language, while she changed her story, when Detective Hildebrand and I asked her specifically if Scooter was the one that shot her, she looked over at his baby mama, because Javaris Roundtree has a girlfriend and his baby mama. Her body language and the way that she looked at us said yes.
Okay. So there was no verbal indication?
No verbal, no.
Okay. But when you wrote your report, do you know why you would have omitted the fact that it was verbal?
I didn't rewatch the body-worn camera footage before I typed the report. I just went off memory. And I didn't, obviously that's not a very long paragraph, so.
Okay. So you had the warrant signed for Javaris Roundtree the following day, correct?
Correct.
Okay. Do you recall what you testified to the judge and said?
I do not. I'll be honest with you, I don't remember.
Okay.
So the ag happened on the 1st, and the warrant got signed on the 2nd?
I think so. I don't have it in front of me.
But it was the next day. It was the next day.
It was the 3rd. But yeah, I'm not asking you to narrow down any dates, roughly. So my question to you is this. So when you went in front of the judge, and I know you said you don't remember, the issue I'm coming to is, did you tell them, or if you might recall, that Miss Love said she saw Javaris shooting, or that her body language? Because that's two completely different things.
I understand that, and I do not remember. That was back in 2021.
Okay. Knowing what you know as far as homicide investigations, having been through the detective office for so many years, do you believe that if you went to the judge and said, well, the body language told me this, the judge would have signed off on that warrant?
Based on all the other evidence that I had, yes.
Okay, and what other evidence was that?
Just from my homicide as well, and because of the argument that they had gotten into.
Okay, what other evidence did you have from the homicide that could link to this ag assault within a day?
I'd have to go through the case file. I'm not.
Would you need to re-review the report before we ask?
No, I guess I'm just not understanding what you're asking me.
What I'm asking is, you've got to have probable cause to get the arrest warrant signed. Mm-hmm. I don't believe a judge would sign if you said with the body language, the way she looked. So there has to be something from that homicide that you're saying is tying in to add this probable cause. Either that or you said, Tyesha saw Jamar shooting me.
I honestly do not remember what I said to the judge.
Okay.
Was it done on cloud gavel or in person?
I don't remember.
If on cloud gavel, that's recorded.
Okay. Okay. So fast forward a little later on when Brian with the DA's office called you.
DeBlasis.
DeBlasis, yeah. And he asked you about the statement. Do you remember what your answer was to him?
About what statement?
The statement Tyesha Love, the inconsistency.
I told him that I was going off memory and I didn't remember because I hadn't watched the body-worn camera footage because I had no way to. Well, I didn't. It's not that I didn't have a way to. Let me rephrase that. I had not watched it. And I told him I didn't remember exactly what happened. I know that I told him I wasn't sure if I had my BWC on because Hildebrand had walked away. He said, no, your body-worn camera was on when you guys walked up. And I said, okay. And I don't remember what else I said to him. I said, I haven't watched it, so I can't. I said, whatever I'm telling you, I'm trying to go off memory, and I don't remember everything.
Okay. So would you have told him that you were bad about activating your body camera and that she absolutely said it and you activated your camera afterwards?
I told him I didn't remember. I said, that's a possibility. I said, but I haven't watched the body-worn camera footage.
Okay. Okay. All right. Just kind of going through the case in general. You've talked to this guy Carlos a couple times in that, and you kind of went based off his word on the May 6th about you had the murder warrant signed for Javaris, Aaliyah, and was Marquis?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, why not Carlos?
I don't remember why we waited on Carlos. There was a reason, but I don't remember why.
Okay. Brew, did you consult with your supervisors on this?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, how about the DA's office?
Don't remember.
I remember back in the day, we used to have one of the ADAs that would come over to the office from time to time and go through all the murder cases. And before we made a murder arrest or signed a murder warrant, we would get their approval. Was that something you guys were doing?
It just depends. There was cases where Brad Thompson, they started doing that again before I left homicide, but that wasn't a common practice. If I talked to somebody I don't remember, it may have been Brad Thompson or Jenny Parker.
Okay.
But I don't remember. But that wasn't, they didn't start coming back over to the office until right before I left again.
Okay. But you don't remember if you had this conversation before getting these arrest warrants or not?
Not with the DA, no.
No, DA, okay. And you don't remember why Carlos was not included in that?
I don't remember.
Okay. Good. I'll tell you kind of my issue with it. And like I said, correct me if I'm wrong. This is me outside looking in. Is Carlos obviously lies to you the first time, but the girl he rented the car from, says he leaves in that car at 12:30 at night, and yet Walmart video had him at 8 a.m. in that car cleaning out the car. So I'm just trying to see is why was the arrest of the other three and not Carlos? Because to me, you also had the .45 casing in the car from the county, and you had the .45 live round in the search warrant where Carlos was located at the apartment. So to me, this early on, things are pointing to Carlos. And why is he not arrested?
I don't remember why we didn't arrest him on the murder warrant right away.
Okay. Okay. In your previous interview with Sergeant Samuel, y'all mentioned a 357 being involved, and you said that was part of your probable cause to make an arrest?
I didn't say it was part of my probable cause, but that firearm, the victim from my murder was missing a gun. His brother told me that it was a 357.
Okay.
Javarius Roundtree's girlfriend, when they got into the dispute at the, I think it was the Gateway, don't quote me on that, it was one of those hotels, she had the 357 on her because he left before police could get his name. He walked away.
So I guess in there, the 357 was not part of the probable cause at that time when you got these arrest warrants signed?
No.
Okay, that's what I'm trying to narrow down. Okay. All right, and tell me a little bit about the crime lab. I mean, why wasn't, the DNA swabs, the guns, everything taken out there?
That was just my fault.
Okay.
I just forgot.
Were you instructed to do it?
No.
Okay, is that just something that every homicide investigator knows that needs to be done?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and this happened in 2021, correct? So in the past 2 years,
There's been a lot going on. And I mean, you've been in homicide, you know that you work your homicide, somebody else gets a homicide, you help them, you're also working death investigations, suicides, overdoses, whatever it is. I had it on a to-do list and I just completely forgot to take them.
okay. All right, tell me about this search warrant thing. Oh, sorry, did you have something?
Yeah, in reference to that, how long after you got assigned this case did you get transferred to, I think it was the gang unit?
I don't remember.
Months?
It was
week?
maybe, I think so, yeah. It was like within that time frame. Was it 21 or 22? I don't remember.
This happened in May of 21.
I know. I don't remember when I went to the gang unit, I'll be honest with you.
Okay. So before you got the arrest warrant signed, there was your report didn't indicate any attempts to interview neither Aaliyah Duncan or Javaris Roundtree.
No.
Was there any reason for that?
No.
Didn't feel the need to, or
I just didn't feel the need to.
Okay? Is that common practice?
Sometimes.
Okay. How about attempting to interview once they were arrested?
I did. And they did not.
Okay. Did you actually go speak to Aaliyah?
Aaliyah, I did not because she did not want to speak to me.
Okay. Did you go out there, or did you have a patrol officer ask?
The patrol officer asked.
Okay. Is that good practice to do? I mean, there's been directives from the assistant chiefs that say you will go out and attempt to interview. No matter what, you don't ask a patrol. Correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
Can I say something to
Yeah.
that, though?
Yeah, go ahead.
So I was not on call. I was off call. I was screening my back porch and had been drinking beer. So
Okay.
me probably going out there would not have been. That's why I asked the patrol officer if she wanted to talk because I had already been drinking.
Okay. Did you attempt to do it? Did you think about attempting to do it the next morning before arraignments? No? Okay. And you said you just didn't feel the need to? I'm talking about like even before the warrants were signed. Because it kind of goes back to my thing. You have Carlos pointing the finger at these three individuals. You took him at his word. But the family has said they're getting messages from Javaris and Aaliyah pointing at Carlos. So it seems like a lot of finger pointing. And to me, I would want to interview everybody, or at least make that attempt to speak to everybody before getting my arrest warrant signed.
That's how you do things, I guess.
Okay. You didn't feel the need to do that? Okay. You've got a rights form in there signed by Greg Williams. There's absolutely no mention of him in this report. Do you know who that is? And the case file we got from the DA's office, yeah, you've got a rights form in there, signed by Greg Williams. I saw no interview, nothing in your report, nothing on this guy. Who is he?
I don't know.
Is there any reason he would be in there? Do you recall this guy?
No.
Did I get in there by mistake, maybe?
I mean, it could have. I mean, it might have accidentally.
The ag assault. you took that over from Gauss, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. In that, there is a vehicle that was rented by Enterprise, and they got the name of the person that rented the vehicle. Did you ever follow up on that?
I don't remember that.
Do you believe you should have?
I didn't know anything about a rental vehicle, is what I'm saying.
Okay, so part of your responsibility as an investigator is to review all the reports, correct?
Right, but the report wasn't, well, I mean, got done. I didn't know anything about the rental vehicle.
Okay. Well, Gauss mentioned in a report, and part of an investigator's responsibility is to review all the reports and make sure they exhaust all leads. And you've got somebody that sees a suspect vehicle leave from an ag assault. That'd be something good to follow up on. So then that wasn't followed up on, so I'm trying to understand why. But you're saying you didn't know about it.
No.
And we spoke about the GBI. Did you ever follow up on any of the companies as far as phone dumps, tower dumps, things of that nature?
What do you mean?
These were obviously things that have been returned over the last couple of days. Did you ever get this data in the meantime and then just fail to do a supplemental report to it, or did you fail to add it to the case file? Like what's going on with the tower dumps?
They were in the case file. They were in the DA's case file.
Okay, I'm talking about the records that came from it, not the search warrants themselves.
No, the records that came from it were in the DA's file.
Okay. So where was your supplemental regarding those?
That I got them back.
Yeah, that you got them back. What did it show? I mean, there's nothing. It says the last line of your report says search warrants and supplementals to follow, but there are no supplementals. Tower dumps seem like pretty relevant information, don't you think?
Yes.
Okay, so why were no supplementals ever done? Why didn't you ever go back and do that?
Don't know.
Looking back on this, what would you have done differently?
Taking the stuff to the GBI.
Is that it? Would you have reviewed the phone records? Would you have type these reports? Make sure you got your case files in on time?
I probably would have added the supplementals, but
Tell me about these search warrant returns. Why is it 2 years later?
because I was taught that you don't do the returns until right before discovery is due. I had no knowledge that this case was getting ready to go to trial. I had no knowledge that discovery was due. I had no knowledge of anything. There was no communication from the DA's office.
Okay. Who taught you that search warrants were done right before discovery?
I don't remember who told me up there. It's just something we all did, is that you didn't do the returns until right before discovery was due.
Okay. Have you ever reviewed the CID policy?
Yes.
Are you aware that it says 5 days?
I didn't remember that it said 5 days, no.
Okay. Well, it was in the CID policy, it was in there that time, it's 5 days. It still is 5 days.
Who were your supervisors back then? Do you remember?
First it was Santoro and Khaalis, and then it was Burdette and Khaalis.
Just one more question, kind of goes back to the making the arrest in general. Carlos told you he went to a girl's house and so did Marquis. Did you ever attempt to follow up on those alibis?
Carlos's girlfriend was interviewed. She was the one that rented the car.
Yeah, but he said the second time you spoke to him, he said they picked up Vinson, he went, purchased marijuana, and then went to another girl's house.
I think Duncan and I, was it Duncan? I don't remember who it was. I did, but he couldn't tell me I don't remember exactly what he said, but yes, there was an attempt to try and locate said female, and said female was not located.
Okay. So, and then Marquis, he said he was home at 4 o'clock. Did you try and follow up on that? Any kind of alibi on that?
That's when we interviewed Marquis's girlfriend, or his wife, Miss Love.
That was during the ag.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, y'all asked her about that the next day. Okay. And she said he was home at that time?
I don't remember exactly what she said. I'd have to watch the body on camera again.
The issue I have is nothing is in your report about their alibis. I mean, you don't mention that you went to follow up with this girl that Carlos said, you know, there's nothing about what all of Tyesha's statements are about being shot that day, nothing about Marquis's whereabouts during the murder. This is all relevant information that need to be included in a report, and it's not. So it leaves a lot of questions to be answered. Do you think you did a thorough investigation on this?
The report's not, no.
Okay. Don't you think it would be wise to include everything, especially in a homicide investigation, that with 4 people arrested for murder, to include in your reports?
Should I have been a little bit more detailed in my reports? Yes.
That's all I got. You got anything?
No, I'm just real curious as to how long after you started this investigation did you go to that other unit? Because a lot of times, I mean, I know in homicide they usually wouldn't let you go to another unit until you close out all your cases. So obviously they must have thought this case was closed out before you left, or either didn't do that this time with you, which is why I was asking you how long after.
I don't remember.
A while after? Like around about a year?
Maybe not even a year. I honestly don't remember, Sarge. I just don't.
I got you.
I was also pretty burnt out at this point, and that's why I wanted out of the gang unit. I mean, out of homicide.
Gotcha. I ain't got nothing else, LT.
Just hang tight for a second, and we'll be right back with you. Just to go back, so you said your probable cause for the ag assault warrant was the body language. You remember the body language that they said that's what told you Scooter Javaris was responsible, correct? Mm-hmm. Okay. You remember the night Aaliyah was arrested that you were on your back porch drinking?
No, I was rescreening my back porch.
Rescreening, I'm sorry, I thought you said drinking.
Well, I was drinking beer while I was rescreening it.
Okay. So you remember those two things, but how do you not remember what Tyesha said to you? Because your exact question to her was, did you look out the window and see Scooter shoot? And she said, no, I hit the ground. You remember rescreening? You remember the body language?
There's things I can remember and there's things I can't remember.
That's a pretty important piece of evidence right there, correct? That's important to remember.
One more time, I'm sorry.
That's a pretty important thing to remember though, right?
But if I hadn't watched the body-worn camera footage until he showed it to me, how am I going to remember that?
Same way you remember the body language. How do you remember one thing and not the other when they're
I didn't
both
remember
together?
the body language until he showed it to me.
Okay, but you just said that was your probable cause for the arrest, was the body language and the way she looked. You just said that in the interview a minute ago. That the body language that she showed when she looked over at dude's wife is what led you to believe, plus whatever you had in the homicide investigation, is what led you to the probable cause. But you're saying now that you don't remember it until you saw the body-worn camera.
Then I'm just completely confused. I'm saying that I did not remember very specific details about this case, especially what he was when he interviewed me the first time. After I read the paragraph, when I watched the body-worn camera footage.
Okay, let me rephrase it. And it goes back to the same question about the judge. Do you remember what probable cause that you gave to the judge to make this arrest?
No.
Okay. Do you think a judge would have signed off on it if you said my body language?
I think if
says
you
that?
articulated it the right way, then yes.
Okay. Could you have possibly told the judge that she saw Scooter shooting?
No, I would never have lied to a judge.
Okay. At any time during the start of this investigation all the way through internal affairs, talking to the DAs, have you intentionally been untruthful?
No.
Okay. You got anything else?
Oh, I'm good. Ended the interview at 13:30 hours. Today's Monday, May 8th, 2023. Time is 14:02 hours. Sergeant Samuel with Internal Affairs, along with Lieutenant Wiggins, Internal Affairs Commander. Here with Corporal Ashley Wood. Corporal, you've been read Garrity already. It's still in effect, just FYI, right? Are you familiar with any of the news releases that have come out, reference to all this stuff? So you're familiar with what they're saying?
I haven't read them. I just know that they're out there.
Okay. So what the news release says in summarization is that your affidavit and your warrants, the probable cause for your warrants was because you saw on video Marquis Parrish inside the Walmart with the other 3 individuals that were named as suspects in this case, picking up cleaning supplies. That's what the allegation is from what the prosecutors, the defense is saying is wrong with the arrest warrant and your report. Your report says that you know that they were in the Walmart Supercenter, but it doesn't clarify how you knew it. You said you saw the video footage captured by Walmart security cameras, and it was determined that the shooting death of Charles Vinson occurred between the hours of 0300 on the 26th of April and 800 on the 26th of April. The report says you know that the 4 of them were in Walmart together on the night of the 26th, but the allegation is that in your affidavit and your application for arrest warrants, it was stated that you saw him on surveillance footage in the Walmart. Now, if you can remember, that's what we need clarity on.
I honestly don't remember. I don't know what the search warrant says.
I think the search warrant reads a lot like your report. So really what the question is how do you know Marquis Parrish was at Walmart? Was it based off video? Was it based off?
No, I don't believe it was based off the video. I can't remember specifically. I don't know if it's when I interviewed somebody and they said that he was also there, or if he was in the parking lot and he did not go in the store. I don't remember exactly. Okay.
But just read that highlighted paragraph for me real quick.
And there's something else here too. Okay, read that first.
So, just ask you said where you put, you know that Marquis Parrish and the other 3 were at Walmart. You're saying you don't remember if it was from the video itself? Okay, because obviously the video, what you saw in the video is not detailed in that summary, correct?
Right.
Okay. Do you recall what you saw in that video?
I know that I think it was Aaliyah. I remember seeing Aaliyah, but they checked out at one of the self-checkout things. I don't remember specifically all the detail footage, but I know that it was at a self-checkout thing, and I remember seeing her because she was the one that was scanning it.
Okay. So that doesn't necessarily mean they were all in there. You're just saying, based off the statements and then that you put it together, that you're saying they were there. I'm not trying to put words in your mouth, but am I summarizing that correctly?
Can you summarize it again one more time? I'm sorry.
You're saying so you saw Aaliyah on the video.
Mm-hmm.
There's statements before that the guys were at Walmart. I think it came from Carlos.
Mm-hmm.
So are you saying that putting those 2 pieces together, that they were at the Walmart?
Yes.
Not necessarily saying you saw them on the video?
Correct.
Okay. You have anything else?
Yeah. So do you recall if someone that you interviewed might have told you that that he was at the Walmart?
That came from Carlos. When I interviewed Carlos, I believe he said that they were all at the Walmart together.
Okay, but we already went over that. You didn't see nothing on the video yourself. That part was based off of Carlos's statements, maybe?
But I don't remember exactly the video. I just remember that Aaliyah was checking. It was at a self-checkout, and that she was checking them out. I haven't watched that video in Lord knows how long. I don't want to tell you wrong.
Okay. I think that's the paragraph in the report that explains a little bit of what you saw in that video or what Carlos told you. Did that jog your memory and he just reading that part?
Yeah, that did, but I don't. Can you repeat the question that you had?
Okay. You don't remember the Walmart video footage?
Not entirely, no.
Okay, but you remember this interview with Carlos?
Yes.
And Carlos was also arrested and under the same charges as Marquis, correct? Carlos was the one that wasn't arrested, right?
He eventually got arrested, but we charged him with other things before we charged him with the murder.
Okay. So, besides the fact that him telling you that Marquis was at the Walmart.
Because Marquis followed them in his vehicle.
Okay. Besides that, you don't recall what was on the video, so we basing that right now.
Yeah, I don't recall what's entirely on the video. I haven't watched it since I got it.
Okay. All right. That's all we need. Appreciate your time.
You can leave that. I was just gonna give you an update that Camden went back to.
Is it off?
Is it about this case?
No.
Okay. Ending the interview.